Genty, hello. So I just thought this afternoon, what topic will we speak about tonight, or talk, or enjoy, or just have a chat? And there's freedom real. This came in my mind, and I thought because it's sort of a thing the mind thinks, isn't it? You might be in freedom, but the mind always asks, "Am I really free?" You know. So I thought, yeah, maybe we see what we can pick up from that, because. The only reason that we're not free is we're still hanging on to a few things, isn't it? So, and that's why the last few weeks we've been going into the wardrobe and handing the clothes over to the soul that we don't need anymore. So, how's your wardrobe? Is it thinned out a bit? Are you having some thought might come up from your past and you think, oh, where'd that come from? Then you think, oh, that's some set of clothes I've been still in the wardrobe. So I said, okay, we don't need to wear that one anymore. So we can wisdomize that one, put it into let the soul wisdomize it and becomes our wisdom, some experience we've had of the past. And it's like through the process over the last few weeks, we've been going with the field, that we've added sort of the human is the field we operate through, and then we've added the mind that goes with it. And then we can find that our mind becomes a very good friend, that it's there. You find it won't trouble you hardly at all now. So, but you speak with it and treat it with love and respect. And together the field is doing everything together. So the mind doesn't feel it has to do everything, achieve everything and whatever it's got to do. So now that's the chance the mind can relax, the body can relax, because now we're not trying to heal it, we're not trying to fix it, we're not trying to do anything with it at all, because now the mind can fix itself. It has the ability, but we keep giving it all sorts of things. When we start involving the body as in the field, then you start saying, giving it that respect, then you'll find so much love that you'll feel this new vibration, this feeling within you that you'll feel that, oh yeah, we get on very well. And in your dreams even you'll be having wonderful experiences with the mind and the body and the whole field, soul, new light body. And so that's what we're doing. That's why sometimes we might be a little bit up and down a bit, a bit woozy some days, and maybe you don't feel so good, but it's just a transformation from the old way, our old lifestyle and a new lifestyle. So, and and that's where we think, oh, well, I've now got my field and a new light body is there, which is all my wisdom of all my past births are there. And now we've got all the emotions as well and all the feelings that's in our wardrobe. So these are the more sort of subtle but gross things that we can let that wisdomize. And so we're going to be wearing, like that commentary was saying about the far and the masks. You're caught up in all these different masks we wear. So now we can just wear the clothes that we like to wear. You don't have to please anybody. You don't have to make anyone happy. So you can just wear the clothes that you like, which means you could just be your own personality. If you try to please people, it just never works. Well, it might do for a couple of minutes. So you might please them for a little while, but not too long. But when we're looking for freedom, a lot of people are looking for freedom in the world, isn't it? All over the world, we're looking for freedom. Even people fighting wars for freedom, which is absolutely ridiculous. But they're not interested in freedom at all. They want more money out of bombs and oil and whatever. So, but that's their type of freedom, is the more money they have, the freer they feel, because they feel that power, But we know that there's no such thing as power, We know there's energy. Power is for armies and countries and dominating people, police force and all those sort of things, armies. So, but that's not for us now. We don't need power because we are energy, so that we know everything. There's no need to, if you want to get involved in the world, then you probably need power to get by in it. So, but in how we're in our field, and our field is our protection. So it gives us our protection to live every day in the world and enjoy ourselves. We're not here just to be like a balloon floating around. So we want to have some fun, isn't it? So and uh, and a life without any fun in it is not much life, you know. So and whatever the fun is, you know, as long as it's that's where the wisdom comes from, isn't it? So you know within you what fun is for you, you know. It's your makeup, you'll get all the jokes from all your family line all come down. So they know all the jokes, you know all the jokes. So you live happily in the family, you know. But if, say, someone new came along, he doesn't know all the jokes, and they'll be all laughing, and he'll be saying, "What are they laughing at?" You know. And so this is the time now where we have to let go of pleasing anybody at all, you know, trying to heal myself, trying to fix myself. And and that's why when we go into the wardrobe, to see what the mind will bring to you, that you need to sort of, they might say, what about the set of clothes over here in the corner? You haven't noticed those yet. And it might be something that happened to you when you're at school, and it's some influence in you still today when there's someone a bit bossy around you or something or whatever, or you were bossing someone else around. So, and the whole thing is, that's what we will just say, oh, yeah, we don't need that set of clothes anymore. It's been sitting there for a zillion years, so we don't need it. And so the soul will just give it to the soul and say, here you go, soul. Just wisdomize it. And you're just releasing it, letting it go. You don't have to do anything else. So the mind has brought your attention to it, and you can just release it. So, and like freedom is just a doorway to go through, but then the mind will say, "Oh, am I really free?" You know. But when your mind is in your field, it'll be your friend, and you'll feel freedom, you know, because you won't need anything from anybody. You won't need anyone to make you happy. You won't have to make anyone happy. Still have to make Borgia though, I'm afraid. But that's because you enjoy it, isn't it? Well, generally. But it's like it's living, isn't it? So when you do everything in life and in that freedom consciousness that you're not here to please anybody, not here to change anybody, and you're making food that you're enjoying, you're not going to make food to please somebody, but people do, I know. But that's and if they didn't like it, then the person who cooked it feels really bad, you know. They think, oh, did you like my food? No, I didn't like your food. They wouldn't say, that's what I mean. You have to please people, but all these sort of things, that's not a freedom, is it? That's, you know, that's an expectation of you have to answer it this way and you have to please them that way. And you know, they went to your wedding and you have to go to my wedding, all these sort of things. I bought you a big expensive gift. I expect a big expensive gift back. See, that's all entrapment. So that's what we're doing. So, so freedom's not a destination. Freedom is what we are, you know, and that's who we're actually free, but we've blocked ourselves in all around over many, many births and lifetimes. But that's part of the fun. That's what the experience is all about. No more arrows in the front or arrows in the back, wherever. So we have to go beyond all that warring and all that stuff. But you have to accept it. I mean, we hear it, but then it's up to you to do your own due diligence, put into practice what you feel is right for you, because what's right for me might not necessarily be right for someone else. Because sometimes I say things, but I only say things like people get amazed, you know, but the whole thing is it's just trying to wake them up a little bit. So you might say something and they're a bit amazed at what you said, but that's pretty cool. But the main thing is that whatever we're doing is for ourselves, you know, so, and it's, even we go and we're studying Raj Yoga, we're studying soul presence, and we're coming letting ourselves become free from all the things that's tied to me, the ropes and all these things that are plugged into my heart, and you know, people are sucking all the energy out of me, and all these things we want to get rid of. So all these wires that are tying me down, the expectations of others, and I mean the expectation of others. Sometimes it's nice to be a grandmother and looking after everyone. That's not a bondage, is it? If you're enjoying it, it's a love. That's part of life, you know. But when the bondage is when you have expectations, when people have expectations of you, so, and then it becomes a bondage. But now's the time, at this time now, like as we're going through the wardrobe and we're letting these things go, I'm being amazed actually. Sometimes I think, my God, where did that come from, And it's something I have to let go, I think, oh yeah, we don't need that clothes. And eventually it's like you can see your wardrobe just starting gradually clearing out. It just comes from somewhere, You can't see all your clothes. It's got such a big wardrobe. But eventually it'll be all clear and it'll be just the clothes you like wearing, that you have nice colours or whatever it is. Whether it's black, green, yellow, or white, doesn't make any difference. It's just the clothes you feel good in, So how you feel. And it won't matter how you feel even in the end, isn't it? You'll be constantly happy and feeling good about yourself. And you'll be able to do whatever you want to do and meet everybody you want to meet and have no expectations from anybody. And they might have expectations from you, but soon they'll find they won't have any because you have none. So you'll just say, no, thanks. No, they'll say, what? But anyway, but that's what it's about. In the end, freedom is something that you have to decide, whatever you're holding onto that's giving you a burden and not making you free. I mean, it's not that work, everyone needs work, you have to live, isn't it? You have to live in the world. So you need work, families. This is a world of everything like that. But when you want to become completely free of everything, then sometimes you go really deep. And it's up to the individual how you feel, isn't it? It's like when you're ready, you do what you want, not what anyone else wants, not what I say, or because we should be feeling this together. So, and that's why when we sit in a group, in soul presence, and we're sitting here as a group, and it's like just because you're on the internet doesn't mean on Zoom, it doesn't mean you're not here on the same. We're all in the same room and experiencing the same experience. So that resonance will be going through everywhere. So, and that's what we're doing. So when you're living in this world, you have a resonance. So you're having that vibration, that color, and you'll be walking around in that state of consciousness, just enjoying, no efforts. You might get the odd ache or pain, but that's life. But eventually that will disappear as well. It's a wonderful thing that life is full of aches and pains, and you end up with aches and pains, but it's only a belief system. Actually, the body doesn't experience any aches and pains. Actually, it's the mind who's making you feel that. It's funny, isn't it? I've seen people with dementia, and when time they know who they are, they're running around like little kids, and they were in a wheelchair before. So that's just shows you what the mind can do. So the body is free of all of those things, and it can heal itself if we allow it. So if we think we have to fix it, we have to give it this food, we have to give it that food, and I've got this problem and that problem and everything to the problem. And then the body says, oh, okay, do I have all those problems? My goodness, that's a lot too. And then the body has to work hard to make you sick. So instead of you feeling that I don't have to do anything and the body's fixing everything, the body will fix it. So sort of things I've learned a lot because I must have eaten the most of any sort of tablets of things to make your body feel better or you think it needs it or all these aches and pains. But if you talk to your body, now the body is your field and you're operating through the body, and you talk to the body, say, hey, body, is this good for us as a field or not? And you can feel it, or if you can't, you can always ask, through that finger. So you can ask kinetics. You can say yes, hold for yes, and let go for no. I learned that trick, but it's just another way. But sometimes you'll just get a yes or a no feeling, and just go with it, and you'll get really good at it. You'll say, hey, body, is this a food good for me? What do you want to eat today that you need a different type of nourishment, anything? But the body understands that everything you eat is energy, isn't it? So you cannot eat the wrong food. So you can live on chocolate chippy biscuits. That'd be pretty cool. Especially some nice ones around. But it's actually only energy, isn't it? So you see some kids, I know I've seen little kids that say they're not eating any food, no vegetables, nothing is there, but they still grow up and become good and strong. But everyone, mother wants them to drink or eat all their vegetables and eat whatever they're supposed to eat. But still, the body will give them whatever they need. My little grandson, he was living on wheat picks, and I'm thinking, my God, is that all he can eat? But he did. He grew up really strong. So. But then they change as they get older, of course. But when they're little, you think, how are they going to grow up? But they do. They just go through that from their past birth and starts coming in. And that's because you got freedom, from all your past samskaras, many, many births, and then you've got your family line, plus your DNA. And so your grandma, your great grandma, grandfather, and all the way up the line. And you probably started it all off anyway. So you're there, but you're in the body of that family line at this time. So all the all the food that they're eating from all the way through, and it's all in your DNA. So when you eat those sort of things, you feel good. The body goes, oh, that's nice. That's our food, and that's what it is. And some people have that type of food, and some people have a different type of food. There's no right or no wrong. It's just that's what's in your DNA. And they're starting to realize this now that what you eat is more to do with your DNA now. They're going into such subtleties, aren't they, with the new chatbots and AIs, and they're finding out all sorts of amazing things. I just love it. So like AI is going to help us a lot to help us to become free from all the bondages and burdens. But we've got to go through a few little lumps and bumps first, because actually the AI is still pure. Like all us human beings on the world, we have impurities in the soul. Baba tells us that the soul's impure, and that's what we're cleansing. So taking mind, intellect, and sanskaras is becoming clean again. So we become back to what we were. And what we were has always been there, but we had it covered over, and that's what we're doing. So freedom means as we gradually release all the stuff that's covering us. And it's only up to do with you, isn't it? So we just say we're just releasing, and when we're in our field, you don't have to do anything. You just relax, say, look, field, I'm prepared to let everything go, and you guys just fix it up, because you're not there to work hard anymore. So that's what, you're an embodied master now. So the light body is there to do everything for you, the soul and the I am. So we were just in the car enjoying the ride, having fun at the back, eating ice cream, looking out the window. So that's how easy life becomes. But it means you still do things you like. So whatever it is you like. And that means your whole field is experiencing whatever you're experiencing, you see. So whatever it is you like. So if you're enjoying something, then the whole field's enjoying something, whether it's going for a nice walk or bike ride or whatever. Sky jumping, skydiving, coming up there. Wow, look at that crash. Yeah, so that's why the mind, until you get the mind on your side and your field, as your friend, you've invited it, and it should feel part of the field. Until then, it's always going to be a little bit saying, "Oh, I don't think this is quite right," or it won't feel like a child that's coming home. That you're welcome. Nice to have you here. Sorry about trying to beat you up all my life. So now you can be my best friend, my buddy. Same with the body. You think of me thrashing it, working it hard its whole life, and now it's say, "Oh, okay, buddy, now it's your turn to relax." And this light body, which is all my wisdom is there, so, and the soul, and now it's going to can if you allow it, it will have such a beautiful life for you. We think we can make a life beautiful, but it's nothing compared to what the soul and the light body can make for you. But at this time, we're just going through a period of allowing ourselves not that you have to do anything. You just allow yourself to get rid of all your junk out of your wardrobe, just let it go and let it become free. And that's like the doorway forward. So that's where true freedom is, when you can let go of everything that you're hanging on to, basically, that we don't need. So, and just live a life that will give you freedom. So, and freedom doesn't mean you stop working and do nothing. It just means you're free from the bondage, and you'll find that finances will come, everything will come, you'll have no more worries. You don't have to live in a 12-story mansion or anything. You just have to live in a beautiful place that you're happy. It might be just nice trees and flowers and things you like to do. And so that's what freedom is freedom means you're free. When you wake up, you feel free. Oh, beautiful, I'm here for another wonderful day, and start singing and being happy. Just you wake up happy. Do you wake up happy? That's good, because you've got all these little animals around you. You see. The, the ones you don't have to feed, of course. That's good. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? How do you wake up in the morning? So what are you hanging on to, or what's giving you pressure? And you don't have to do anything. You just observe. The whole thing is, we don't have to fix anything up. That's not our job anymore. We observe, and we allow the new light energy, the new light body and the soul to sort things out. And I've gone to bed thinking about something, and I woke up in the morning, it's on the internet, and I thought, how did that get there? There you go. And your answer's already there, just do this or something. But I laugh. It is, life is so unlimited, isn't it? It's like when we think we're trapped only in this body, and we have to do this and we have to do that, and we just have to enjoy, actually. And and the more we get entrapped in whatever's going on in the world, don't worry, because everyone's playing their role. Whatever anyone's doing is happening to them, we don't have to worry. I mean, we like to see, like, we don't see all that suffering going on, but that's actually what they have planned. They came to this earth to do, to help in whatever way, or to continue what we're doing in our past birth. No one knows, is it? So why does a baby go in somewhere and it gets bombed and everyone dies? So whole families get killed. But that's their game. That's their drama. So they've been in war for maybe many, many births. So before they were doing the bombing, and now they're getting bombed and so on. It's just a cycle of continuation until they decide that's enough. No more. Until someone decides that's enough, we don't want to do that anymore. Then you'll see they'll just continue to destroy each other, and then they come back again, and it's their turn. It was the same even in Africa, in the middle of the jungles. They would go and attack one another. Next time they come and attack them. And it's just horrible, really, but that's just the viciousness that the human soul has become, like that. And that's what I said, it's the soul that becomes impure and corrupted. Not the I am, not the consciousness. Consciousness is always pure. It's like the God part of us that's there. But the soul, because if we keep doing negative things, and then the soul will become there as part of the samskaras, or our personality traits, they become like that. So we have to become, when we become free from judging others, and it's all part of the clothes in the wardrobe. So we're cleaning out all this judgment stuff. And so that gives us freedom as well, because we're not having any expectations on anyone. You're not judging anybody. And that if you come in front of someone and they think, oh, look, I feels like I'm being judged, they don't like, people don't like that. So, and it's like when the people feel they're free from being judged and free from expectations, and they can ask you to do something, but that's fine, but you don't have to say yes all the time. If you don't want to do it, you say no. So it should be done from your heart, not your head. So, and that's how we live. And that's what Baba's teaching us, how to live, become free. Because who we are, we're already who we want to be. That deity, for that soul that was a deity, is still there in my in my memories. That's part of my clothes, actually. It's in the wardrobe, but all these other clothes have been stacked in front of it. So we're moving all these clothes. We'll come right back to our original clothes we used to be, it's beautiful instruments that were there. Put on your top stuff, top line. Always. And you're wearing them, and you enjoy wearing whatever you want to wear, isn't it? So who cares? It's got nothing to do with them. You want to wear anything, you wear it, and that's it. It's like that's who you are, Just be yourself. You don't have to please anybody. You don't have to please God. God can be pleased. People think you have to please God, He's going to be unhappy with you, but it doesn't make sense, does it? When you understand how can you please God? He doesn't even have a body, just a point of light. So he doesn't have a brain like we do. Doesn't have a mind and intellect like we do. That's why he uses Brahma Baba's body. So he has all those experiences through Brahma. And that's why he's still now in the subtle body with Brahma Baba. So he's still looking out for us. If you just think anyone if you thought about them, automatically they will experience that in the subtle world, in the world where they are, astral worlds. So if you just think of Baba and he's there automatically, that's your pull, And it's the same. If I was thinking of you, then the same thing. Next thing, ring, ring. It's like you're connected straight away. So and that's how it is. Same with your family. You might be thinking of your family member, and next thing they're ringing you. So like that. Do you get that from your mum and dad from China at all? A ring, ring. Do they speak Chinese on a New Zealand phone?
Speak Chinese.
No, that's okay. That's a different joke. So that's okay. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? So you actually just think at some time, if the whole internet is finished, say for instance, like Elon Musk is doing to Europe, just chopping the internet because they were going to take him to court and sue him for zillions of dollars. He said, I'll fix you guys. And he just chopped off all their internet because they're all in the sky, and his new one. Quite funny, isn't it, when you think? And so one person has that power to do all that because people have connected all there, and then suddenly they put all this stuff up there and all their information is there. He chops it, and then they got nothing. It's really crazy. We have lessons to learn, isn't it? Because people want to have that power to rule the people. Now we understand that power has got nothing about that. We don't believe in power in the sense that's there for those who believe in it. It's like time. Time is another thing that if you believe in time, then we don't have time anymore. It's just about going so fast. It's already April tomorrow. And it's like, wow. I'm sure it was only April a couple of days ago, last year. Yeah, but anyway. But it's life is so good because they say that because of the world the way it is, like maybe 20% of time has been compressed. So the year is 20% shorter. So, but we still pay the same amount of taxes. Well, I don't. Or we do really. No matter how you get your money, you have to pay taxes on it. But that's part of the system, isn't it? So you should feel joy in paying taxes because but the only trouble is you're giving your money to a whole lot of idiots. That's the trouble, isn't it? They just waste it on all sorts of things. But what can you do? But at least we've got running water and beautiful parks here in Auckland. I just love it. Auckland's so beautiful, isn't it? Like in comparison, you can walk around. There's no insects eating you or lions trying to eat you or something. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, there's a difference here where you have to sort of like to live here, where some places people like to go where they can make a lot of money, but here they can't. In New Zealand, it's not the place to become a millionaire. Really, some people do, of course, but not really, really rich. Unless you're a minority, unless you have a majority of something like Countdown or something like that. They make as much as they want, pack and save, all those things. But now, but still they're having control over all those people and they have the control over the prices and everything. But they're still not free because they're trying to get to their maximum amount of financial gain, So it's still not freedom, isn't it? So they might have control over everybody, but they need that control. But if the people stop going there and went somewhere else, not that they have much choice here, but then they lose, So that's their fear. And the main thing we're trying to get rid of, as far as we're concerned now, is fear, because that's the biggest entrapment. Fear. Fear is the thing. Look at what happens, people, they just fear about petrol that's happening in the world today. It's the same with COVID, wasn't it? It's like, it just drives people crazy. They just fear, They don't realize what were you doing before you were born, you know. I'm just going to be doing the same again after you die, However we're going to die, no one's going to starve like it's that. So the world is different, not like it was, 200-300 years ago, where people were hungry all the time, just about a lot of people. Oh, even when I grew up, a lot of people were there that I grew up with, people didn't have money, not like they have now. So everything's a different world totally. So, and now with new inventions, things are becoming better. See, this reason there's a whole reason for this, what's going on at the moment, is they have to bring in new energy. But until that old energy can be stepped aside, so the new energy can come in. Like they know how to run cars and all that sort of stuff off electrics, and magnets and God knows what. They've invented that you can get electricity from air and from the land, and electricity's everywhere, but they don't want it because they make all the big people are making so much money out of charging us for this. They're all set up. We got, well, look how much money we've invested in all our stuff and electricity. So if they're not going to suddenly get anything, then someone's going to be a bit upset. So, but we can get electricity from everywhere. But at some time, it's going to happen where these inventions will actually be put into place, and that's coming. But we just have to be patient at this time. So, but there has been invented. I've even seen them. How it works. Like way back from Tesla days all the way through. And nowadays, I see in China they made this little. I was telling you the other day about the wind turbines, and they make them like four little leaves like this, and whichever way the wind's blowing, it doesn't make any difference. It keeps spinning. And they don't make them great big things like that. They make them smaller. So really beautiful. So I mean, it's such that thing that they big wind turbines they make it's such a pollution to matter. It's, I mean, when it's finished and broken down, they can't even get rid of it. There's nothing of it is of any use. That's the crazy thing about it. And they're putting thousands of them up there. So, and wherever they put them, they just rent that space off them, and they make it so the people that they rent them off have to get rid of them. So I don't know what they're going to do with them. You can't burn them or anything. They're made out of metal and plastic or sometimes special plastics. So, but that's why we have got this situation in the world now where people have to change. It's coming to a point now where people are going to decide, even if they want to stay here, they might decide that you'll probably find a lot of people will just start leaving the body. It's just going to be too much for them. And that's what's going to happen. So not committing suicide, they will just say, I can't live here, and then the soul will just pull the pin and off they go. So, and this thing, we don't have to actually commit suicide. If you don't want to like it, if you don't like it here, you just have to tell the soul, I want off. I want off. But then you're here to actually learn, and if you realize the benefit of whatever you're going through, it's just an experience. Whatever I'm going through, it's just an experience, even though it's pretty ouchy sometimes, isn't it? So kick your toe or whatever it is, have a dive to the floor, accidentally trip over something. But so many things, or someone says something to you, you get upset about something. So many ways you can have sorrow, but now's the time to take all that. We have to, that's what the freedom is, letting go of things that are stopping me from having freedom. And whatever it is, we just got to look at it and say, well, am I committed? Okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong going to work, but what is it that's stopping me from being free, you know? Is it a burden or a bondage to me? Can I do something a little bit different with work so that I feel a lot better, and that your field, once you actually start operating from the field, it doesn't matter what you do, you'll be enjoying. Once you start recognizing, you know, the soul, the I am, the soul, the new light body, you know, the mind, the human. So it's all these is in a field, and when you're doing it, everything in as a field, it becomes a totally different life, you know. And you're just living and enjoying, you know, because everything is enjoyment, you know. Right. So that's say freedom. What is freedom? So to you, what do you think? So freedom is sort of not doing whatever you want, isn't it? It's like if you want to do, you know, 100 miles an hour down this road here, you'll have a few police chasing you, you know, whatever it is, the helicopter will be up. That's not freedom doing what you want. So freedom is not escaping life, you know, like committing suicide or whatever. So that's the thing, freedom is so freedom is not even a destination. It's not that where our aim is to be free. It's not even a destination. So to be free. You think some people come into this life and they don't have a problem in the whole world, you know, and they got lots of money and they're living a great life. So, and you don't have to force freedom. You know, you can't heal freedom. You know, you just, everything is, you know, you have to, the thing is just letting freedom be free. But what's stopping you from being free? You know, you can think, so you can look in your wardrobe. Sometimes the soul, the mind will help you. It'll pull a set of clothes up and you'll think, oh yeah, that's one of the things that's not leaving me from being free. It might be something when you're 6 years old that someone did something to you, and that freedom, that memories come up, then you say, oh yeah, we don't need that set of clothes anymore. We can hand that over to the soul. And so these are the things that's stopping us from being free. You know, it's not actually you have to do 20 hours of or 21 days of a yoga buddy and then you'll become free. Something like that. It takes 1 second actually. So when you allow yourself to be free, then you'll experience freedom. So, and so, and that's what the field is about. You can put a question to the field and then say, hey field, what do you reckon? What's stopping us from from my experiencing true freedom, you know? So I don't know if can you feel anything there that maybe that you feel that's you say, hey, you know, what is the freedom? Is it an emotional thing? Because emotions are a big thing, aren't they? You know, they can boom, they come up, they even come up before even the thought, before the mind can do anything about them, you know. Some people can get angry just poof, like that, you know. You said something to me and suddenly they're angry, you know, and the mind even had a chance yet. Then after you've finished doing what you're going to do, or you're done, whatever, it's too late. But then the mind will think, oh, I shouldn't have done that. You know, that wasn't very nice. So that's when the mind starts thinking. You know, so emotions is the big thing, and that's hanging. All those things are hanging in the wardrobe. So these are things that's just you just stand at the doorway and you don't try and find anything. That your mind will help you. The whole field will help you to see what it is. You don't have to go looking. You'll be just there. In your sleep, you might see something, or you might be walking around and suddenly a thought will come up. And you say, wow, where'd that come from? You know, but that's the mind is, or your field is bringing this up for you to let go, or maybe you want to keep it. You don't have to let it go if you don't want it, but you can hang on to things if you want. But our aim, that's what's stopping us from freedom, you know. So it's not a destination, as we say. It's a freedom is who we are actually. We were never in bondage, but once we took a human form, then the bondage came after that. So because we have attachments and all sorts of things that come in. And it's no one's right. But it's funny thing is until you make your mind your best friend, you know, with the human, the mind's going to give you a hard time because it thinks it has to do everything, But when you become part of your field, then you say your mind, hey, mind, just cool, you don't have to do anything now. We've got it under control. So you've got to learn to respect the mind, respect the body, and then you have that respect in the field, and that means everything will operate so beautifully. And when you can sit in meditation, just to having respect for myself, just respect, and the best way of all, one word. And if you have a problem about anything, so it's about what happened to the cat. Remember what happened to the cat? So it's like when you question something. So you question the mind. So something comes up, you say, oh, that's the key, is you question it. You observe and say, oh, is that any good to us? So that's the key, that's the key to everything, is you question and say, what's the benefit of that? Is there any benefit of that for me, for us as the field? And that's the whole key to everything, is just that questioning. Simple, isn't it? Like, so whatever you're going through, you question, oh, you might be going through some emotional stuff, and then you think, oh, what's the benefit of that? Where's it coming from? What's it doing for us? And if you start using the word us or we and things like that, not me and that, when you become a field, you involve the field. So you don't feel the responsibility, that burden starts to drift off you, And that's what we got to do. So have to let the bird out, not the bird in. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Yep, so don't try and fix it. That's the whole key, isn't it, about soul presence, is you're not trying to heal or fix anything. You're just there observing, and your field is going to help and do everything. So, and you're already a deity soul, It's like everything, your perfect self is already there. It's just that we happen to make it not so perfect, that's all. And it's no one's fault, it's just an experience. Just a few thousand lifetimes, whatever it was. But anyway, we're all happy now. So, but once you get to the stage, you're already there, like freedom is just letting go of the last little bits. Maybe that's hassling you. That's all. And you're not going to be flying around the room or anything. So you're just still going to be you, and you're in your field, but you'll be enjoying this wonderful life together. You'll never feel lonely again. You'll never feel that you need help, because if you use the field as you, I am my field, and the soul will be there, and it'll be leading the way for you. So once you get your soul name, if you want to ask, you don't have to, of course, but it has a name, which is all about your life anyway. The name has a meaning of why you came here. But that's only for me to do those things. But everyone their soul has a name, but you can ask. And it's part of the field. So you had enough for tonight? You give surrender? That's okay. But it's not about being confused about anything. The idea is just observe, that's all. And let whatever needs to be done. Okay. So just experience now just how you're feeling. Just say you're just experiencing yourself and your freedom. What is freedom? Freedom is something that I already have, actually. It's the only reason I don't have it is because I'm still hanging on to a lot of stuff that stops me from having freedom. It's no big secret about anything. It's just how it is, and we don't know what we did in our past lives, do we? So that's for my soul to fix up. So, and all my aspects I've created, which is there, it's coming back, but I'm not allowing them to come back. So they will all come. Once everything comes back, then we'll be complete and perfect. So it's not just about one little thing that I'm here in this body. It's all these other creations I've created with my thinking. but that's not for me to worry about. That's for the soul to wisdomize it. So that takes a lot of stress. That I'm having to become golden aged or whatever. So become a deity soul, but we already are. So you don't have to become anything. You already are everything. Okay, dear souls. Love you all. Just have a minute of silence and then